We're really, really glad that you've joined us, and I'm going to introduce the program and then we'll get started. So hi,
Okay.
everybody. My name is Carmen Chu, San Francisco's assessor, and I'm joined on the show today by Shani. Shani is with Peaches Patty. Before we go right into it, I did want to say, I want to make sure that everybody is staying as safe as possible, especially right now when we're undergoing a resurgence in terms of the pandemic. Make sure to just keep your social distance, make sure you're wearing masks to keep yourselves and your family safe, of course. But as you know, we have been doing this special program since COVID went into place. We've been really taking the opportunity to highlight some of our local talent here in San Francisco from some of our most favorite places to eat. It's always a really great way to be able to connect with different cultures, communities, and different people in our community who are doing great things. And so today I'm super, super excited to have Shani join us on Cooking with Carmen. And she's going to show us how to make a yummy, yummy Jamaican jerk chicken. But before we get into all of the food and kind of seeing what is the magic behind the scenes there, I did want to make sure to introduce Shani a little bit, to tell you about her, and then ask her a few questions. And so I think, if folks don't know, Peaches Patty was actually featured in Forbes magazine, and so it's a pretty cool thing. They did feature Shani and what she's been doing there, and so I did want to make sure to share with you some of the information about her. So she was born and raised in San Francisco. I think that's something super, super neat to let people know. So she's actually been in the city for a really long time, grew up here. And I think in her home, I think cooking has always been a really big influence. She had mentioned that she's got a big family of 13, and so someone was always cooking. And so she truly learned a lot of kind of her influences, both from her mom, but also from her father's side. And so I think this is something really neat to hear about. Her mom's side had sort of the more Jamaican influence, and then on her dad's side was really sort of the New Orleans influence in terms of her cooking. So learning from mom and dad and from grandma in terms of where she got her background and her skills. Before she came back to the Bay Area, she did a lot of work. She actually went to school out in, I think, Clark Atlanta University, correct?
Yes, I did.
And she started her business in 2012. And mostly working first in her mom's kitchen and then pursuing her PhD, and at the same time also sort of doing Lyft, all of these different things to kind of make things work. And over time, I think she got connected to La Cocina in San Francisco. That is really an incubator to try to help support women who are trying to open businesses. And so she started working with La Cocina, and I think from then on, and it just really took off in terms of what Peaches Patty is able to offer. So a lot of things that she sells are really kind of neat. So things like oxtail, goat, jerk chicken, as well as the traditional patties. And so we're going to hear more about some of the influences that Shani has to share with us. But I think it's really a neat story because Shani tells us so much about the evolution of her business, especially in response to COVID. And, it's a really great story. But before we begin, Shani, tell me a little bit more about, how you got into the business of food, because it's not easy. It's a hard business.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. Actually, I went to college, aspiring to be like a news anchor one day. So I majored in mass communications, which is like totally different. Yeah. But growing up in a big family, we were always cooking. So I knew how to cook. That was like a second passion of mine. And after moving back from Atlanta after college, I realized that there was still no Jamaican food. I could only get it at my house. And I thought that it would be very good to start my own business and do Jamaican food.
Yeah.
Especially in San Francisco, because San Francisco is open to different types of food.
Yeah.
And I felt like I would be able to make my mark in San Francisco. I grew up there. Jamaican food, there's really not any in San Francisco. So I just went for it. And there's a difference between home cooking and actually having your own food business. Totally different. Totally different. And I had to go through those growing pains.
Yeah.
When I started my business.
Well, I mean, also just because Peaches Patty was so successful, even the sheer volume of how much food you're making is like mind-boggling. I think you were telling me that last year, for example, you guys made like 200,000 patties, right?
Yeah.
And that was all
And they're
done.
all handmade.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I can't,
Yeah.
I
We,
just can't even imagine.
mhm.
I can't
Yeah.
even
And
imagine.
yeah. And it wasn't always like that. Like when I first started in 2012, I actually started out of this kitchen here. And it was just orders that I was doing word of mouth, family, friends. And as years progressed, everything started to grow. So as things grow, you start to expand, you start to hire people, you get more contracts, this and that. So yeah, we've grown into a machine
Yeah.
that can't be contained right now. And a lot of people like our food. We specialize in Jamaican patties, which is Jamaica's baked savory pastry. And so it's similar to an empanada, but different because with empanadas, you usually fry. With Jamaican patties, you bake.
Mm.
So the recipe that we're doing is actually my mom's recipe, and her nickname is Peaches. So my company's named after my mom.
She must be so proud. Does she help with the patty making also?
When I first started out, yeah, and I know that she would still could want to do that, but no, it's rough in the kitchen. Like she's retired. She's retired already. She doesn't need to go back to work. But when I was in my beginning stages, yeah, we were working side by side.
So Shani, with especially with COVID, I mean, especially now, there's a lot of conversation around kind of resurgence and what it means for the economy as a whole and for businesses. But you've also had to really pivot and change because of, what you were planning before COVID and then all of a sudden it hit. And so tell us more about kind of that path that you took.
Yeah, so before COVID, our primary clients were tech companies. So we were doing a lot of drop off catering for like lunches, happy hours, meetings. And so on average, like a week, we would have about like 25 to 30 orders in 1 week. And the per person head count would be like 75 to like 200 people
Yeah.
within each order. So we were busy. We were like working 7 days a week, this and that. And we nailed it. We nailed it last year. And we were like, okay, 2020 is our year. We're going to expand. We're going to, have 3 kiosks in the city of San Francisco, as part of our expansion. Like we had everything planned out. And then COVID
Yeah.
came. And when shelter in place happened, it was literally like we went from having all of these orders, like at least 30 orders a week, to 0
Yeah.
within 1 day. So,
Yeah.
and that was crushing, definitely. But me being the business owner that I am, I know that I'm in it for the long haul. So when things happen
Yeah.
like this, you have to pivot. You have to redirect your focus. So, and my husband and I, we work together side by side. I'm more qualitative, he's more quantitative. So with us working together, we were able to come up with a plan, like, okay, well, who can we serve?
Yeah.
How can we serve them? So right now we are working with SF New Deal and Off the Grid with Great Plates, serving the elderly. And then
That's
in
great.
addition to that, yeah, which is really good because they really like the food and they're grateful for it.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, we are in the La Cocina food box. We're also working with Kitchen Town because there's been a lot of community food boxes going out.
Yeah.
And we've also made our pivot to doing online sales.
Mm-hmm.
So during the week, you could go onto our website, put in your order, and then pick up on the weekend.
I see someone actually on our chat has already put on your website for where people can order. So,
Oh, yay! Thank you.
so tell us
Yeah.
more about how during, especially during this time, can people be supportive of you? Because I think, you're in it for the long haul and we want you to survive and be part of us when we emerge out of COVID. So what's the best way that people can support you?
The way how they can support, if they haven't had our food yet or our patties, go online, order a meal or two, order some patties. You won't regret it. And then also spread the word as well. There's a lot of people that have actually discovered us, and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that there was Jamaican food in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So just help to spread the word too, because we're here. Yeah. And we're doing great things.
Yeah. I think that's exactly it. We've got a homegrown talent, someone who is taking kind of the traditions of your family and really putting it out there. And it's a great product. It's tasty, and we want to make sure you succeed. And so I'm really glad that you've pivoted and been able to do kind of the online services. And I think, like you mentioned, helping things that people can do to help you order, right? And to continue to support the business, let people know that you exist. And then if you are a business who are ordering food for your employees, or you're hosting certain things where you're going to be spreading or kind of giving service, think about ordering from Peaches Patty, for catering, right? For catering. So some different things that people can do. So yeah. So Shani, what are you making with us today?
I'm making jerk chicken. And I am doing my own jerk chicken marinade. Yeah.
Oh, so
which is awesome.
Do we get to see you make?
Yeah, you'll get to see. Yeah, you will definitely get to see. And jerk chicken is really big in Jamaica. I want to say number one is patties. Mm-hmm. That's like Jamaica's like comfort food that you could eat any time of the day. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And then jerk chicken is like number two on the list. And yeah, and jerk chicken is. Mm-hmm.
And if we were to order from you, you recommend the patties and then the jerk chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually those are our top sellers. So the patties and the jerk chicken. Mm-hmm.
Got it. So someone who is named, a girl named Pinky said, "This is delicious. You won't regret it."
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Holly Kate Gilbert tells you that you have a beautiful website and they can't wait to order from you.
Oh, thank you.
So I think you've got very hungry, excited people watching you.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as like the jerk chicken, I'm doing like a inside home version style, because usually in Jamaica, it's usually done like in an outdoor barbecue pit that's actually built. Oh, wow. And they put firewood in there. So sometimes they'll even put like chop up rum barrels.
Oh, wow.
Because it has like some of the remnants of the rum in it, and use it as a firewood. Yeah. So it could elevate, like the flavor. Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. But oh, wow.
Yeah. And jerk chicken is, it's spicy, but flavorful. It has that nice balance to it. And it's also kind of tender too, depending on how you make it. But yeah, I'm going to share this recipe with you, and you guys can see exactly how I'm doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we will watch what you're doing and follow you. But I remember when I was talking to Shani earlier, everybody, I was like, what exactly is in jerk chicken? Because I really don't know. I hear it, I know about it, but I'd like to know what's really in it. So I'm excited to learn from you today.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to show you. So it's basically, let me tilt this down a bit if I can.
There we go.
But it's basically
whoa,
a combination of fresh spices. So we have green onion here, chopped yellow onion, and then ginger. And then we also have habanero peppers.
Oh, wow.
Which is a cousin of Scotch bonnet. And Scotch bonnet peppers they pretty much grow wild in Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Did you say there's ginger in there too? Ginger?
Ginger, yeah. So
Okay.
Jamaicans use a lot of ginger.
Oh, wow.
Ginger in almost
So does
everything.
Chinese cuisine. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, ginger. And then we also use allspice,
Allspice.
like the actual berry itself,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
and grind it up. And then nutmeg, soy sauce, vegetable oil, and browning, which is basically like molasses.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put all that together right now.
Sounds good.
Oh, come here. And my husband is a camera person.
Hi, husband. What is your husband's name?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for
Hello.
the camera.
How you doing?
You get to see the
Same here.
numbers person.
Yeah, he's a numbers.
Yep.
Okay, so I have.
You guys have a lot to talk about then.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna put all of these ingredients in, and I have a Vitamix. And so this is really gonna chop it up really good.
Oh, wow.
So the green onion, huh?
I said it looks so fresh. It looks great.
Oh yeah, I just chopped it this morning. Yes, it's really fresh. The fresher, the better.
Yeah. Is it hard to find those peppers that you were talking about? The Scotch, the bonnets?
You know what? On the West Coast, yeah,
Oh,
it's very hard. If I were like on the East Coast, like Florida or maybe New York,
Yeah.
like where there's a lot of Jamaicans,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be so much easier. Even when I was living in Atlanta, it was much easier to find some of the Jamaican products and like vegetables and spices
got it.
there. Yeah.
Are you throwing in that whole pepper even with all of those seeds too?
Yes, I am. I am putting these whole peppers in.
Wow.
So jerk chicken is all about the spice.
Oh, wow.
So you put it in whole. You do not take the seeds out.
Oh, wow.
At all. Yeah.
You're not kidding around.
Oh no, no. Yeah. And as far as the habanero pepper, you could get it here at like any grocery store, Safeway or Whole Foods, Lucky.
Yeah.
Yes, there.
If you couldn't find the Scotch bonnet peppers, would you just use more of like the habaneros? What would you do if you can't find the Scotch bonnets?
Use habanero.
Okay.
Yeah, use habanero. It's literally the cousin.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, the little cousin. So it's just as good. And then I'm also gonna add the allspice in here, do the berries.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense that you have to like mix it really good because you got to get the berries kind of like all mixed in.
Right. And in Jamaica also they call it pimento, what have you.
Yeah.
But it's like the key ingredient. You can't have jerk chicken without the pimento or allspice in it.
Got it.
And then I'm going to put some browning in here. This company is called Grace. It's a Jamaican company.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, browning will add just a little bit of natural dark color to the jerk seasoning.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's really neat. Where do you find browning?
Browning, you could find at a Jamaican store. So there happens to be one in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Minto's Market.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to find it there. Or you could actually get it online.
Got it.
Go to Amazon.
Mm-hmm. There's a soy sauce in Chinese cooking. It's called like the dark soy sauce, and that actually helps with creating the darker, richer color too.
The color.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I'm gonna pour this vinegar in really quick, and I'll tell you about my little story with soy sauce. because I love soy sauce, and we're actually going to put some soy sauce in this too.
I love
So I just use
how
kikkoman.
oh yeah. I love how like there's
Yeah.
like so many mixes of different like kind of cuisines or different you know like flavor profiles that kind of come together.
Oh, with the jerk seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of like total goodness.
Hmm.
But with the soy sauce, I don't know if you knew about the cooking show Yang Can Cook.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch that when I was little, and
Uh-huh.
so I guess the Kikkoman soy sauce is like the sponsor, so they would always show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh, cool, because I used to watch that show and I loved it.
I know.
I want to meet that. I want to meet that guy one day.
Oh my gosh.
And then,
We can
yeah, I want to meet him. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of molasses in here.
God, you have a really a huge following. So you've got Francesco, Tiny Rose, Vinny
Oh.
Boo, Dijo Convo, tons of folks.
Oh, thanks for the support, you guys. And then I'm just putting some lemon juice in here because with jerk seasoning, it's all about citrus too as well. So you could either use lemon, lime, or even orange. It just depends. There's like different types of there's different types of jerk seasonings that bring out like different types of citrus elements. Okay, so I have all of the ingredients in here. Oh, one more thing. The nutmeg.
Do you, in terms of like the lemon or the lime or whatever citrus you use, is that mostly to help break down the chicken a bit, or is it just like the flavor that is why you add it in?
It's just the flavor, for the flavor component.
Okay.
And just a sprinkle of black pepper. And I know that seems kind of redundant because we already put in 4 habaneros, but
it's different. It's different.
And like just a little bit of salt.
Wow, you for real put that whole habanero pepper and the Scotch bonnets with all the seeds.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna grind it up now. Excuse the noise.
Yeah. This is what a real kitchen sounds like. Noise. So Shani, if you made that much kind of jerk seasoning or jerk sauce, how much can you serve with that?
With this? Oh god, because it's very potent. So this can do honestly, like let's say about 25 pieces of chicken.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, or more,
Okay.
because a little goes a long way because it's very spicy.
Okay. Well, I believe you on the spicy. I saw that go in.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna add fresh thyme.
Mm. So I have to ask, especially with mom kind of being your influence and so on, does she kind of watch over you as you're making food? Does she have like things to add?
You know what? Yeah, and it's so funny that you mentioned that because she just stuck her head in the door and she said, "Oh, make sure you put the oil in there." It's so funny. You're right. You're right on target, Carmen.
That's like my mom. She's always
Yeah.
Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all love. You know.
It is. And I gotta say, my mom's definitely, more experienced than I am, so.
Uh-huh. Frying it up.
All right. It's really our viewers are also appreciating their mothers.
Oh yeah. You said, do I appreciate my mom?
Oh, no, I said that our viewers are also appreciating our mothers. For
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she has her way of doing things, you know?
Yeah, I do
She
know.
wants to make sure that it's good. Okay. So we have the seasoning here that I poured into a cup.
Oh, wow.
And then yeah, and you could actually keep this for like about a month or so, or even freeze it.
Okay.
Yeah, freeze it. It could probably last for like 3 months.
Okay. Oh, so
What have you?
if it's in the refrigerator, it will last for a month, you said, and then freezer about 3 months or so? Okay, great. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And then now, because I wanted to get a head start with everything, so this is how it should look once you put the marinade on the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we get to grilling. So when I grill, usually I don't like, how can I say this? I don't like dry chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I like chicken that is tender, has moisture to it, you know?
Yeah.
So what I do, the trick that I do is basically I put your chicken on the grill like so,
Mm-hmm.
and I cook it halfway, and then I finish it off in the oven.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Covered, yeah.
Do you usually use like dark meat chicken, white meat chicken? Is there a preference that you have?
Well, I like leg and thigh or leg quarter. So I usually use that because those are like the dark meat has like more moisture in it. But any piece is good. Any piece is good for it. But I know I like leg and thigh.
So you said you cook it on the stovetop part way, and then you finish it off in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I'm doing it on the grill here.
Wow.
To kind of do that and like to get like some good grill marks on it, what have you. So I do it halfway.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I put my oven on at like 350 degrees and finish it off in the oven.
Got it. How long would you marinate that chicken for before you put it on the grill?
So that's a very good question. If you want your chicken to be like mild,
Mm-hmm.
then just wait like an hour. If you really want the seasoning to get in and like intensify and get spicy,
Mm-hmm.
do it overnight.
Okay.
So like at least 24 hours.
Got it. And then how long are you keeping it on the grill?
So I leave it on the grill for like about 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then I usually put it in a Pyrex dish, like so,
Mm-hmm.
and then finish it off in the oven covered for like about 30 minutes.
Oh.
It's already halfway.
Got it. That's good. I wish I was over at your place, that we were not sheltered in place.
It smells very good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I'm gonna have to do like a distancing drop off for you of some chicken.
We will order it and we will go pick it up on your weekends.
So, okay, that's awesome.
So it sounds like, so right now people can order online. They can order meals. They can also order like a ton of patties if they want to too. And so they order it during the week, and then usually they'll pick it up on Saturdays or Sundays at a particular location in San Francisco, right? Tell us more about how that works. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they'll pick it up at La Casina, so 2948 Folsom Street.
Uh-huh.
And we also have that on our website as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll be able to catch me there because I'm there on the weekends.
Yeah, I got on your website. It's super easy. You see all the pictures of what you would be ordering. It is a beautiful website, so I think you know exactly kind of what you're getting, and it's beautiful. And also, I want to say our city librarian has joined us, Michael Lambert. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
growing up, I used to be a part of like the summer library program.
Oh, really? I used to love the library. I was such a library nerd when I was a kid. I would check out like a bunch of books and bring them home. And I mean, actually, most of them
Me
were
too.
cartoons like Garfield, but I
Uh-huh.
still like the library.
Me too. Like I
So
used
what
to
do
do
we
that
have?
too.
What is it looking like right now?
So,
The checkout book?
um, huh?
Oh
What
no,
what
I
did you
think we
say?
had a lag. I
Oh,
was just wondering what kind of book you would pick out.
okay.